Hi folks, this is Karim Roll from IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our Lambda transformers. This is the 31st video. Okay, in the previous video I have been talking about the Snort package, which is to be added to the pfSense firewall. The Snort package is, as I said before, it's an intrusion detection system. Its main function is to monitor the activity coming from your internal network to the internet, and vice versa, from the internet to your internal network. This is mainly, it analyzes the traffic packet by packet. This is, as I said before, it's the first line of defense. I said before, for example, if a user tries to access a website that contains a miscellaneous files or miscellaneous activity, the intrusion detections blocks the user from accessing the internet as soon as he types. For example, if he types the websites and try to access the website, and it discovered that it is in the intrusion detection system discovers that this website it's in the blacklist of the software of the intrusion detection, or there is some miscellaneous activity done by this website. For example, it's accessing some ports, or it is sending some files that it is not supposed to do, so it blocks this website from accessing the internet. Sorry, it blocks the user from accessing this website on the internet. For more reference, please refer to my previous video. Today we will discuss another topic, is to simulate an Android phone with an Oreo system, Oreo 8.1 system. We are simulating an Android phone with the Android system Oreo 8.1 to simulate how we can access the internet with the pfSense captive portal, okay, through an Android phone. We will test how the captive portal will appear on the Android phone, and how we can also test the PfblockerNG system on it, and how we can also test the Snort system on this Android simulated PC or an Android virtual machine. Basically what you are doing, we will now install a virtual machine and put an Android system on it and test the captive portal on it. Okay, so this is mainly what we will do. So let's begin the installation here. This is a PDF I got from the internet, so how to install an Android Oreo system on a virtual machine. First you need to go to a website to get the ISO image for installing the Android system, okay, and then we will begin creating the virtual machine and inserting this ISO and begin installation of the Android system. So let's begin. I will leave this PDF or these instructions on how to install Android Oreo system on VMware Workstation Pro in a link, in a Google Drive link under the description section in the video that I will upload on my YouTube channel. Okay. So here we will create a virtual machine, okay, and then install later, and then we will choose the version to be. First we'll choose Linux system, okay, it's Linux, and then we will use other Linux for x64-bit. it's either Linux 4x or later kernel 64, so we will use the Linux 4 other Linux 4.x 64 bit. This is the one. Okay, and then we'll give it a name. Here we will give it a disk of about it recommends it to be at 8 gigabyte, but I will give it 20, and the RAM will be 2 gigabyte. So mainly while doing this Android machine, or to simulate an Android phone, to test the captive portal of the pfSense firewall, the option of the captive portal that we have installed and configured on the pfSense firewall, to see if the portal page will appear correctly and if the HTTPS websites will work. And also we'll test the PfblockerNG option and the Snort. Okay, here we will give it 2 gigabyte of RAM, and then we will give it the network adapter of VM05. Why give it VM05? Let's revise something. If we say our network layout, just a minute. Where is the network? Here we can see that we need to put the network card to be on VMnet5, so we can access the guest wireless network. We need to put our virtual machine on this network, VMnet5, okay, so we can access the wireless network and to get the captive portal page on this interface. Okay, as I said before, the guest laptop will get an IP from the DHCP on this interface. We will see all this in a moment, but we need to make the network card of the virtual machine that will be an Android system to be on VMnet5. Okay, and then we will insert the DVD for the Android system, or the Android Oreo system. How we can get it? Let me show you how we can get this. If we open the, let me get how to get the Oreo system. We will open here the page that contains this. Just a minute. Here we can see that to get the Oreo system, here is the link. Just a minute. Here is the Android Oreo link. Here we'll download it from here. Okay, and then here we can choose those. Here we can choose which system we need. I will get this 64 bit. This is the one that I have already downloaded. Just download it and then insert it in the virtual machine. So this how we can get the Oreo system from here, and then from here, and then we can download this one. Okay, so let's continue. So we will follow the PDF. Just you need to insert the Android Oreo system. and then we need to we change something in the display setting to make it to allow to enable 3D graphics accelerator. Okay, we'll go and accelerate 3D graphics. And then we will begin installation of the, I think the 3D graphics is to make the graphic display more detailed, or maybe because the Android system needs a display hard or display graphic to be optimal or something, I don't know. But this, the PDF says to enable this option, so we'll enable it. Then we'll power on the virtual machine, and then we will choose the installation, install Android 68, I think, no, advanced options, and then we will choose auto install to specific hard disk. Okay, so here we will make it auto install and click enter. Now it will begin installation of the Android system Oreo, and tell him yes. It will begin installation of the Android system. As soon as we finish installation, we need to eject the Android Oreo DVD or ISO image, and then reboot the virtual machine so that the system will begin working. Okay, but let's first take it step by step. Who needs, if anyone needs to see or need to have more details, you can read the PDF, but actually I am just making a virtual machine and just need the Android system to be up and running to test the pfSense captive portal. So if you need to know what option in the Android system and why we are making this setup or configuration in this setting, you can read the PDF to know why we are doing this. Okay, after this, as I said before, we will eject the ISO, the Android ISO image after the installation of the Android system. Okay, let's wait for a couple of seconds. So now we will tell him to reboot, but before rebooting we will go to the DVD and tell him to disconnect. Before rebooting we will go here, okay, on the DVD, and tell him to disconnect. Okay, because we don't need the Android ISO to be to work in the rebooting of the system. Okay, so now we will disconnect the DVD device itself, and then tell him to reboot. And then when we will reboot the system, we need to press E, okay, to get a certain menu. Here we will press E, okay, and then we will press enter after that, and we'll press another E. Here you have already pressed E, as I said before, and then we'll press another E again, okay. So we press two E's. First E the first time to get the menu of the system. We have done this, and then we'll press another E, okay. We'll press another E. Now we are in the command prompt. We will move the cursor to the left to change a certain option in the booting of the Android system. I think this is done to make it boot in a normal way, okay. I don't know why this option is done, but it says that we need to change this option, change the option from quiet to no mode set X force versa, okay. I think this is done to make it boot in a specific way. I don't know actually, but I need it to be up and running, so I will go and change it. And then after changing this option from quiet to no mode X force versa, we'll press B for booting, okay. We'll see that now in a moment. I will see how this will make the Android system boots correctly. And then after that we will press P after finishing the typing of this configuration. We will press P to boot, and then after that the system should boot normally. We will get an Android system logo, and then we will get to the Android Oreo system interface. We will press P, okay. B, okay. B for book, okay. Now it is rebooting. Just wait for a couple of seconds. We should get the interface of the Android 8.1 Oreo. And if it's working perfectly, you need it will connect to the internet, and the login page, or the captive portal page should appear. So now we will test our captive portal, but first we need to log into the Android system interface, or to open the Android system interface. And also there is another PDF I have put in the transformers folder for how to install a Mac system and then use something called Xcode. This is a simulator to simulate an iPhone system, because there is no direct way to install iPhone iOS system on a virtual machine. You need to install a Mac OS first and then run a simulator called Xcode to simulate an iPhone system. Okay, let's go back here. We will see here that the interface is asking to, this is the initial setup. We need to tell him that we need the English interface. So let's continue here. We have already choose the English interface, the English interface menu. Now he is trying to search for a Wi-Fi network. It seems for the first time that he wasn't able to connect to the Wi-Fi or to the internet, but after a couple of seconds it will. Sorry. So I'm just checking to see that I am already working with the, so it wasn't VMnet 5, okay, it was, yes, it was VMnet 5, sorry, yes. So now I will skip it, okay, and then I will connect from the inside. Okay, we'll skip continue. Okay, and then next. So now it's asking for how to protect my phone. I will not use a pattern or password, not now. It's a little bit slow, okay, because it's still I am using it for the first time and I am not comfortable or not accommodated yet to the interface, this interface. So here, let me pause it quickly. Here you go. Here is the interface. So now I'll try to access the internet. I'm trying to still to discover the interface, because actually I didn't use an Android system on a virtual machine before. So I'm just trying to discover where is the menu and how I can get to the setting and connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so here I can just pass this quickly. Here I'll make a restart. Actually I didn't. So now I make a reboot to the system. Just I'm still not familiar, so I'm making a reboot to see if I am missing something. Okay, here let's pass it real quickly. Okay, now here you can get to the system. Here you can see that I will connect to this Wi-Fi, connect to Wi-Fi vert, and then connect. He saw the Wi-Fi already, or the internet. He got an IP, and I am trying to connect to get the page. Okay, here I'm trying to get the page, the sign page or the captive portal page, but still it doesn't work for some reason. He already got an IP address, okay, but he still doesn't get the captive portal page. I tried to open the Google Chrome to see. Now I'm still not connected. I'm not getting any connection, still even. So okay, still I am not getting to the internet, because the problem is that I have made the captive portal work with the HTTPS but this option clearly doesn't work, because actually after I disable the HTTPS on the captive portal appears. Okay, so let's pass it real quickly. Here we can see that I can getting the options, okay, of the Android system. Okay, here we can see that I will disable the HTTPS for the captive portal, because this is the option that didn't make the captive portal appears. Here I'm trying, let's go for a moment. Here I was trying to see if the Android system is getting an IP address, so I got to the DHCP lease and see if I can see the IP of the Android system. Here the DHCP lease. Okay, here we can see that my Android system is taking 10.00.52 and this is the MAC address. Okay, and he's connecting through the guest wireless interface, and he's online and active. Okay, lease type is active, so I am connected and getting an IP address, but connected, I mean connected to DHCP and getting an IP address, but the captive portal wasn't appearing. So the problem with or the issue for this, because of the enabling the HTTPS on the captive portal. So as soon as disable the HTTPS on the captive portal and work with the HTTP, the portal page appeared. Okay. So here I will pause this real quick. As we see here that it says that it can't get the portal page, unreachable, and it's working with HTTPS. So okay, here let's go back. It's working with the HTTPS, it's not working, so I will go and disable the HTTPS to work again with HTTP. Okay, I try to refresh the page to see if I can get the portal page again, but with no luck. So I have gone to the services and then to the captive portal and disable the HTTPS. Okay, here is our captive portal, and then we will disable the HTTPS. Okay, I think also this is a problem, because the HTTPS should work with a certification, and as I said before, most of the Android system and iOS system doesn't work perfectly with the certification solution. Okay, or it's difficult to install a certification on an Android system or iOS system. Okay, so here we'll try now to connect again to the Wi-Fi. Here I will connect to the I'll just close the browser. Okay, here I'm trying to connect to the Wi-Fi still. Okay, here I can see now the Wi-Fi is closed. I think I need to enable it, but I have already restarted the machine again. Actually, you have to excuse me because I don't know a lot about the system, so still discovering it. So now it is starting. And now I will try to connect to the Wi-Fi from here. Okay, now we will connect to the Vert Wi-Fi. This is the Wi-Fi connection. So here we can see that we have successfully got the portal page, and now I will access with my username and password. Okay, see, the username and password is not correct, so we'll use a voucher or we will use a code. Still there is a problem with the certification, a problem with the username and password, so we will use a voucher. If you seen my previous video, we have already installed the voucher system on the captive portal. This is a code with a specific duration, for example maybe 1 hour, 1 week, 1 month to access the internet. So you specify a code for a user to access the internet for 1 hour or 1 week or 1 month, the duration you need. Okay, so I'll get a code, one of these codes that we have done in a previous video, and copy it, and then we will try to access the internet with it. So mainly we have successfully tested the captive portal on the Android system, and then continue. So that means that the captive portal and the internet is working perfectly on an Android system, and also works on the Windows system. All of this is working perfectly. And if you need to test it on an iOS system, I said before, I will leave the PDF in the transformers folder, so you can test it by yourself. But as I said before, there is no way to install an iPhone iOS directly. You need to install a Mac OS and then use something called Xcode. This is like a simulator. From it you can simulate an iPhone. Okay, so here we will try to test and see if we can access the internet after putting the code. So now we can see here is the Facebook. Here successfully we have already got to the internet. So that includes our video today. This is will be my last video to discuss the pfSense as a whole. We have already discussed a lot of things. We have discussed the Squid proxy, the Squid guard. Here we can see also from the captive portal, we can see here is the IP of the phone and it's active. We can just get a little bit more back. If we go to status, and then get to the captive portal, we can see here that here is the IP of the Android system or the Android phone, and this is the code that I am using, and it is starting today at this time. You can disconnect the user from here, or you can see also the active vouchers from here. You can see which voucher is or which code is working and the duration of this code. So here this is all for today. I have already discussed on how to install an Android system on a virtual machine to simulate an Android phone, so we can test the captive portal and all of the other pfSense options. I said before, we have already concluded about, or we have already been discussing the pfSense for about 10 videos. all of the features, that the important features for this system. As I said before, we have discussed the squid proxy, the squid guard, the PfblockerNG, the snort, okay, and the captive portal and the voucher option. All of this on how to use the pfSense and its different features. So that concludes for the videos for the pfSense, and I will begin discussing another issue in the next video concerning how to backup your Active Directory environment and what is the backup plan to be done, and how we will take a backup with which software. Okay, so until you see you all next video. Bye for now. But I think, let me see if this video is, I think now I am, okay, I think now this is ended, so let's finish the video.